welcome to another episode of Collaborate and Pull Together. This is a podcast where we highlight all things positive on and off the table. Um, I am super ramped up today. I am full of energy, full of spice and vinegar, if you may. What a electric weekend! To this weekend, we had some explosive content, a lot of information, a lot of different pullers came to light. Um, and I'm going to have a couple of the people that were actually there come on the show at some point. Um, I just wanted to let everybody know that I am so utterly grateful to be a part of this community. Um, one of the guys that actually came with me down to King of the Table event is on screen. Dan, right here, is a big reason why this weekend went as amazing as it did. Um, Thank you for everything and every part you played for this weekend. We'll get into that in a little bit. Um, just wanted to make a couple big shout outs to Core Sports for hosting a amazing event on Saturday. Oh man, that was beautiful. You guys did a great job. Then also, Don Idris for organizing it all with the help of Coach Ray. Amazing, and a huge shout out to Robert Kelly for calling and contacting me, asking me if I was being interested in recording this, being a part of the film crew. I've never done anything like of this caliber. I usually record things with my phone or a webcam that you guys see me on right now. So this was like a very high honor for me to be a part of. And when he asked me, who do I want to bring on board with me, or if there's anybody I know that would be interested, this gentleman on screen with me has been excited about recording and expressing a lot of interest about recording. He said, this is one of my favorite things to do. I love doing this part. This aspect of this entire sport is really calls to me. And none other than Dan right over here. Dan the Hat. Oh man, the Hat. You got a nickname this weekend?
Well, yeah. What's his name? The guy Joe. The one who I am. Do I freedom arm wrestled at the
Gotcha.
very
Okay.
end? What was his name? 10-year arm wrestler. Oh, come on. Anyway,
Oh yeah,
you
Big
know
Mac.
you know who it is if I say his name. I can't remember his
Yeah,
last name.
that's
But
all
yeah, I
good.
got deemed. He goes the hat. That's
The
gonna go
Hat.
somewhere.
That's gonna. Well,
So
yeah, dude, the Hat's very indicative of you.
so we'll see if it sticks.
I think I like it. The Hat. I like it. I like it. So let's just hear your firsthand experience and share with the community what you liked about the weekend's uh, adventure. We'll start with Atlantic City and then we'll move on later on in the show to yesterday's event.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Well, Atlantic City's Atlantic City. There's nothing like it, At least on our end, in our neck of the woods. Just from all the big hotels and the people, it was well organized. That's for sure. We pulled in, everything was taken care of. We talked to who we had to talk to, and the tournament was just about finished. And everybody knew what was going on, and everybody's rooms was good. Service was great. People were nice, and it's Atlantic City. Money
Yeah.
everywhere. People spending money. It was good. It was a nice. There was a lot of people there. It's nice to see. And then Saturday, that's for sure. Saturday was a different story. Saturday was huge. Lots of people. It was just an insane time, man. Insane time.
It was an amazing experience on Saturday. Atlantic City, for those who are watching who don't know anything about it, Atlantic City is a boardwalk, beachfront, high rise buildings that are casinos and hotels galore. It's kind of like it's got a Venice Beach meets Vegas feel to it. So I know people know those places very well. There's a lot of high energy that goes on inside of the buildings, especially during the winter. It's cold as all hell, so no one was really outside, but everybody was inside. The energy there was electrifying as soon as we stepped on scene. And also joining us, we have Andrew, one of our crew members that are on part of the pit crew, and he trains with Long Island Arm Wrestling. He's a super heavyweight that is going to take this whole sport by storm. Look out, super heavies! Look out!
That's the plan.
So, welcome to the show for the first time, Andrew.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure, man. So, we'll go into your experience again, Dan, in a moment on Saturday at the event. But I wanted to jump in because we had a very specific experience, really up close and personal. But Andrew was in the crowd. Andrew, tell us, what was it like being in the crowd around all those people?
Well, there was no other words to say but excitement, loud noise, fun fans. Everybody was excited. That was the best event I've ever been to, hands down. Easy.
How many people do you think were there?
I would say more than they were accounting for. Our seats, we ended up having to sit in the back, even though we paid to sit up in the front. We were a little late on schedule, or even being on time, all the seats were filled up. If you're not early, you're late. So we ended up sitting a little bit further in the back than we would have liked. But again, that just tells you that was a full house. That was a full house. I'm
You,
jealous of your guys' seats. We saw you guys right away, right up front. You got the best seats in the house.
Yeah.
well, Dan and I were there at 8 o'clock in the morning to set
Yeah.
up for the camera crew, and there were some people. There were people that were waiting at 8 o'clock to enter the venue,
Wow.
as as an audience in attendance. Like it was incredible. I was like, "Whoa, is this Black Friday?" People were lined up. I thought they were going to see people pitching tents. Sleeping on the floor. I
They
was
deserve it then.
impressed.
They deserve those seats then. Absolutely.
That's commitment right
Yeah.
there.
It was
Yeah,
crazy.
absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not much of a morning person, but I made sure we were up early and started going, man. That was a lot of
Absolutely.
fun. That was a lot of
We got another
fun.
one. We got another one of our teammates in the chat. Johnny Guns, is in the chat. What's up, Johnny? Thank you for tuning in. One of these days, we'll get you on screen. Um, but so all right. So you said it was electrifying. It was intense. There's a lot of energy in the audience, and so we were standing there. Our back was to you, but we couldn't really look back. And like occasionally, I would sneak in our shot to see
Mhm.
how many people and see the energy, but the energy in front of us was that compelling that we just couldn't be torn away from it. I mean, we had the mics in our ears telling us when they wanted us on scene and on the cameras, on who and on where. And I mean, as I said earlier, as soon as we logged on, I've never done anything of this caliber. I've never handled equipment of that caliber either. I mean,
Mhm.
my camera is a $200 camera, for stream cam and my cell phone. Like that.
Yeah.
That's all I know how to operate. So learning this on the fly was like a little on the stressful side. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
And you guys look natural. Let me tell you, I didn't even recognize you guys until John and Meatball Mike were like, "Oh, there's Dan." I go, "Where's the other Dan?" He's right there. You guys blended right in between the headsets, and the only reason why I knew it was Big Dan is because of his trademark hat, bro. I'm like, there's only one guy in here wearing that hat, and that's him. So
Eh, you know,
Um, we got Carolyn
thank you.
Looms, who's one of the biggest fans of the sport, who's just recently started getting into the sport. She asked if I got to meet Neil Pickup. Yes, we got to meet Neil Pickup and talk with him and hang out with him for a little bit. It was really cool. Nice experience.
Yep.
he was very personable too,
Oh yeah.
approachable, easy. A lot of the guys were. It was really
Well,
cool.
that's one of my favorite things about the sport.
Yeah. Even Levon was very nice.
He was very
He
quiet.
was very
And
quiet, but he was all for the fans.
yeah, 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 yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. It was cool meeting him. These guys,
he's
much
big.
different in person. Wow,
Oh yeah.
wow.
Oh, And we got none other than Steve Fernandez, founder of Tristate Armwrestling. He was sitting in the VIP section.
I had a
Listen
direct
against
view with Steve the whole night.
You should have zoomed in on him, man.
I did a couple of times, so he might be in on the camera. So he might be on the broadcast.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, man, it was awesome to be there, man. It was insane. The seats were top notch. I just wish that they start getting air cameras or something like that. Something that's going to be over, so we don't have to keep on looking beyond the camera guy that was right there taking the shots on King of the Table. Because literally, I was trying to lean
I
over.
know you were on the ground for the Eddie fight.
Oh
For
yeah,
Brian's.
dude. I was not letting anybody fucking blocking me. So I was
No, you were on your knees, bro.
I was on my
you
knees,
know?
seeing exactly what was going on. I mean, anything I need to be as close as possible, because that was like intense, man. It was great. It was great to see. When I went to Florida to East First West, I was facing forward. This was like we were on the back side of the screen and we seen the whole crowd. Seeing the crowd go crazy, being on the other side of it and watching everybody was amazing. I mean, it was unbelievable. The people that were stacked, I mean, everywhere. It's there was fucking lines for food, lines for beer and liquor, and it was just packed. The place, and it was, everything was great, man. Everything was great. I think
Well,
Brian and Eddie had the best match of the night, to tell you the truth.
That was an amazing match. The experience. Listen, Eddie played the table. He pulled, a lot of table antics out of the hat that I didn't think he had, but he looked natural up there. He looked like he'd been arm wrestling forever by way of playing the audience and playing with Brian. Brian was locked in and dialed in, and that was fucking awesome.
I was just talking to Ian Carnegie literally yesterday, and just like me and him were saying, you know, arm wrestlers, and it's a tournament, it's a champion, it's a super match, it's a show. If you want to bring other people to the show, people that don't pull, people that aren't arm wrestlers, you kind of have to bring that other aspect, which is what Eddie brought and what Brian brought. I mean, that was a show beyond just arm wrestling, and that's what people need to see, and that's what you need to get, not just. I mean, when you go to do it and you're going to a super match, people love to see people get riled up, smash the fucking pad, talk shit, and at the end of it, I mean, always show some love and be friends and everything else. But in general, you got to put a show on. That's what people want to see. That's what gets attracted from other people that don't watch it. And that's what you have to bring to the table. And I think Brian and Eddie did that perfectly. I mean, they did a great job inside and out with arm wrestling, putting a great show on, and doing what they need to do to bring as many people as possible. So
I couldn't agree more. The energy with him, the energy with them, the energy with Barbara and Gabby was unreal. Big shout out to Gabby. I wanted to tell her. I told her in person. I'll tell her, everyone who's watching, that woman's a warrior.
yeah,
She didn't lose the match. I don't think she lost the match. I think she won my heart. She won my support, because she went up there like a freaking warrior, and like that intensity that she carried. Oh man, I thought the lid of the fucking roof was gonna blow off with everyone standing up and screaming when she got her pins and she got going.
What was good about it? Not Gabby. What's her name? What's her name? Does she go up against? I forget.
Barbara.
But all right. So she literally played the game that she needed to. She did the same thing that she did in the first one to gas her out, to gas Gabby out. I wanted Gabby to win so bad, but she gassed her out. She did what she needed to, and she ended up on top. And I thought it could have been different. If Gabby had a little bit more side pressure, pushed a little bit more in the beginning of the rounds instead of giving as much as she did at the end. And because Gabby I have a feeling that Gabby could have won that. She was closer than what she was. made it a closer match, and I think Gabby will come back and eventually will beat her with another, with time and so. But I'll have to give it for her. She did an amazing job doing what she needed to do to take Gabby out of her lane, to gas her out, to take her into deep waters, and that's what she did. And she did it perfectly. And look, I wanted Gabby to win. She knows that. I talked to her. She was right next to me, right before she went up, and I want nothing but for her to win. But that's exactly what happened.
I will say one of my favorite parts about the event was even before the actual event went off, the prelims from the previous day's tournament. I didn't get to see the previous day's tournament. Steve, you were there. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, man, that was great. I actually came third left arm. I was fucking pumped, man. It was a really good match, really good turnout. There was a lot of people there. Even Devin and what's his name? Bill, I want to say. He just pulled. He just beat Grundy. He just beat Brad Grundy. It was Devin and Phil. I think it was Phil, and they pulled right there at the tournament. And it was phenomenal. I mean, there were so many good matches. I mean, amateurs and pros. So hats off to everybody. Ben Ciapoli, he did an absolutely phenomenal job at the tournament. He ended up doing the prelims that night up against Paul Cruz. Paul Cruz, hats off to him. He's an absolute fucking monster. But I gotta give
absolute beast.
Yeah, I gotta give you a shout out to where credits due. Paul, he's on a different level. He did great left-handed. He ended up second left-handed, but I have to say he did a great job. Ben, same thing. Congratulations to Ben going up on that stage, going up against Paul. You're not going up against a regular guy. Paul's the best that we have in New York for a reason. And
Yep.
I also want to give a shout out to Andrew. He's got a super match coming up with Malcolm soon. That's going to be actually on February 8th. He's going to be.
We're going to talk about that later on in the podcast, Ben. We're going to talk about that.
All right. I'm just
A
thinking
little
about all
teaser.
the super matches there, and Andrew's in front of me right now. So
yeah, I know. Well, don't worry, we got that. That's the second half of it. We're going to talk all about the upcoming events, but we only get the energies about the King of the Table.
You got it.
That's a little teaser, Steve.
Little teaser, yeah.
I got to give
another.
I mean, especially that Andrew's on right now.
Of course. Now, I just wanted to shout out Robert Kelly for hosting us, for putting us up in the hotel. For
a gentleman, very good gentleman.
Yeah, he did a phenomenal job.
Can't say enough nice things about this man. He said he did an amazing job. There was, I think, 52 seconds out of the whole stream that there was an issue. That's a win in my book. He was beating himself over the head with it, and I'm like, dude, knock that off. He did a great job. Everyone loved it. Don Idris, I don't know if I'm saying his name right. He's a really nice guy. He's the guy who's the head of Core Sports. He was the guy that was the man behind the magic. His voice was in my ear all night, and Dan and I's ear all night long. We heard him, and he was like saying, "Good job, looks beautiful." And after the event, talk about a genuine, authentic human. He came up. He didn't just give us a handshake saying thank you for your hard work. He gave us a big hug. Like, he squeezed all of us, and he said thank you. Like, that's what I love about the sport, man. That right there, I would love to work for that man again. I'd be happy to do so.
Who we really have to thank too is Robert Baxter. He did a phenomenal job. Nangan Terzi putting everything together. A shout out to Robert Baxter. Thank you so much for getting me the VIP tickets and helping me out and everything else. So that got me those phenomenal seats. So thank you so much. And for the gear, thank you so much for the gear, Rob. I appreciate you, man. And you're doing a phenomenal job wherever you're working, honestly. So hats off to Robert Baxter, and he's a great guy. He's such a nice guy, and he's a fucking incredible arm wrestler. Did you ever see him pull?
I have not. I haven't. Actually, no, that's not true. I saw one video. I didn't see him pull in person, though.
He's a phenomenal puller. He doesn't seem like he because he's such a nice guy, but he's a beast on the fucking table.
I can imagine. I mean, to have those titles, he's got to be. He got to be.
Yeah, and but he's such a nice guy, man. He's such a I expected him to be, you expect something out of him, but I mean, such a nice guy, and I nothing but the best for him in the future because he's going to do great things. He's been doing great things, especially hanging in, trusting him with so much stuff, and for him to put on something like that, like what we just did. Honestly, it was the one in Florida. I want to say was probably a little bit better, but it was a phenomenal job. The way Rob did everything like that. I mean, but there was, I don't want to say it was better. It was different because they didn't even have the seating in Florida. They had to buy seats there at the moment. They were a little bit more ready. Rob was a little bit more ready, so I have to give him, that respect. So things did run, I want to say, differently in both spots. But great job, and I think Robert Kelly actually did the filming also in Florida, so everything came out phenomenal there, and it came out phenomenal here. So hats off to everyone.
Part of the film crew was also Adam Silver of StrengthNet.
Yeah.
He's one of the co-founders of King of the Table as well. So big shout out to him. He was actually also in our ear telling us where to go because he was actually on the switchboard, changing the camera angles and telling us this is where I'm going to be heading next. Dan, can you focus here? Dan, can you? So without his guidance, I wouldn't have been able to execute the way I did, and I'm grateful for that guidance, man. That structure, that guidance helped me out tremendously.
Same thing, vice versa. He's a fucking phenomenal puller too, and a great person.
Oh, hell yeah.
So he's strong.
Yeah, very strong. And same thing, he did a great job in Florida, like he did a great job here. So yeah, they're doing great things, man. They really are. They're putting great things together.
So I asked Andrew this from his perspective, but I want to see your perspective, Steve. You said, because you went to the East versus West, and you went to this event. Which event would you say had more audience?
I want to say I think it was East versus West, and
Okay.
And not only was there a bigger audience, but there was more screaming. It was louder. It was just it was on a different level. And the reason why I say it was on a different level, there was more matches. There was higher level matches. There was the best in the United States was in one room.
Yeah.
That time. It was John Brzezinski, Devin Larratt, Chafee, everybody that was there, that King of the Table, it was that plus more. So you can't.
Okay.
I don't want to say
different then.
Yeah, it really was. It was on a different level. So I can't really say to compare one with the other. It was definitely different. And the way everything ran was different too. So
okay.
Yeah, definitely. It's just things were a little bit different, but either way, if you ask me, hey, Steve, if you go VIP again, platinum, and spend the money and do absolutely 100%, whether it was going to King of the Table or it was going to East versus West VIP. Because I had a different experience when I went to Florida. I was eating breakfast with John Brzezinski and then eating dinner with Devin Larratt. It was a different seating.
Yeah.
This time it was just the platinum seats where I got the seats to go to, and thank God, Robert Bax was such a nice guy and hooked me up with some gear, shirt, sweater, hoodie, signed shirt, and everything else. So it was a different experience, definitely.
Okay.
And then I was talking to Hagen Terzi on the phone. Since you're VIP, he was kind of telling you where to go, who to talk to, and everything. So it was definitely a different experience. And I paid more for Florida than I paid here for King of the Table. More matches in Florida, less matches in King of the Table. I think better matches in Florida than there were at King of the Table, but it was very good. It was really good.
What do you think? Do you think we're gonna keep having it on the East Coast? East versus
110%.
West, King of the Table.
110%. We're gonna have more matches, more. That's just a fact of it. The reason why and being is because when I was talking to Engen, he was saying that the crowd and the reaction of the crowd that we have here in America is completely different than what it is in another country, and he sees that, and I think we're starting to make that known, and beyond what people might think about U.S., not wanting to be with on board with arm wrestling like other countries are as a sport and professional sport and everything else. We're bringing it to that level to where I think he's starting to realize to where he wants to bring it over here more. He has to bring it over here more.
Yeah.
It's just a fact, it's a matter of fact that you see the people that you brought into one hotel, and the same thing that happened in Florida. I mean, there was, and let's just say in general, in Florida, there was a line out the hotel door for people trying to get in. I mean, the hotel door. So,
Yeah,
wow.
but what do you think you had seating wise there? 2,000 people in Atlantic City. What did you have down in Florida? 1,500.
I think it was a little bit over 1,000. Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
you're
then
talking double that. You had double that in the place anyway.
yeah, I'm not sure King of the Table how many people there were. If anything, I'd have to say maybe 700, 800 people, maybe.
No more. I know they had 1,500 tickets and they sold all of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know from when we were in Florida, it was more packed. There was more people,
Well,
and
Yeah.
here's the other thing about Atlantic City that I want to note is that we were in the dead of winter. It was cold as fuck. People don't come out. They only had 3 weeks to plan this. They only had 3 weeks to plan this and put the information out there. So had East versus West had a little bit more of a loading time
they
and a
did.
little bit, so had they had a little bit more of a loading time for King of the Table, I believe it would have quadrupled in numbers. I think
Yeah.
it would have been, there would have been standing room only there. And the fact of the matter is, this event was put on like Arm Sports Entertainment. Tim Talmadge helped get organized this as well. Coach Ray was a part of organizing it.
Mhm.
These guys came in like freaking rock stars under the freaking the wire, mind you. Like there were other events happening. Like
It was short.
Tim,
It's definitely short timing. You know what I mean?
definitely short timing, and for I do think that regardless of the number of people that showed up, I think that with all of that in consideration, with all the fact that Tim Talmadge also had an event the week prior at Washington State's that he was running, and then came here to do this on top of that, like that's just like what this caliber of event, and we saw what Washington did. Washington was a big time event. It's one of the biggest in the nation, and they killed it over there, and then they came over here to kill it as well. So I'm loving every aspect of it.
And same thing with the tournament. They did the tournament on the same day. So it was kind of a little awkward because I had to miss pulling in the tournament on one of my arms because we were having dinner with the athletes. So
Okay.
like mixed up a little bit in Florida too at the same time. But that's why there were so many people in Florida though at the same time because every single puller that was there on that day, and there were so many more pullers in Florida in the actual tournament, and they got a free ticket to go in to
To
the
go in, yeah.
so
And,
It's cool.
again, to that point,
to the table. It was kind of the same thing they did at King of the Table.
yeah,
Tournament wise, you buy the ticket, you're able to go in, you get a regular general admission, and you're able to. I'm just. It
absolutely.
was just. It was different, but there was a lot more people in Florida.
Absolutely. You know what? I do want to say my only advice for all of the King of the Table and core sports: set it up with a little bit longer load time, and you'll have a bigger crowd.
And
Especially
do it
and
in the
do it. I was just gonna say that. Do it in the summertime, and that number, like I don't think the Valley
I'd say
that venue
It'd
won't.
probably go up between 25 to 30% more if they did it in the summer because
They
more people are going to come out.
they wouldn't have. They don't have enough room in that facility for that in that venue specifically. They would have
No.
to open up that back room.
Yeah.
They would have to. Like it's the only way it could work.
I would add something, again, for
Oh,
somebody, and I enjoyed the show just as much, but for somebody who paid for the silver package and wasn't able to sit in the silver area, I'll give a reference to Knuckles Up, the high five guys. Being able to pick your seating makes a world of difference. To be able to walk in, see the row, see your number seat, get in your seat, that credits to them. If they could get that going at any of these other events, that'd be much appreciated. That way, you're locked in. Because even if it's sold out, it doesn't matter. You have your seat, you know where you're going, you sit down, enjoy the show. You don't have to stress about showing up at 8 o'clock in the morning for a 1 or 2
yeah,
p.m. event like those other guys, man.
I couldn't agree with you more, Andrew. I'm saying if you're going to be
spot
paying
on.
for something, you damn as well better get it. You know what I mean? That's the way I feel. I paid for my seating and I paid a decent amount of money, and I
Mhm.
agree with you 100%. I did not get the viewing that I wanted to get that I got even in Florida. Florida was a
Mhm.
much better view. Reason being is because of the camera crew. I think if on that level, there should not be a guy that's recording that close to the guys. There should be something in the air, like Andrew said, like Knuckles Up has, where there's a camera in the air on an angle and it angles
Yeah, on the
out
boom.
so nothing is in the way. And if you have a back view of VIP guys that are wanting to watch, I mean, I wasn't the only one. 6 people that were also saying the same thing. Like, man, come on, I can't. I'm looking at this fucking camera guy's back the whole fucking time, and
I would say that or bleachers. If they had seats that were elevated above
Right.
and you could
That's the
see,
thing.
you could look down.
if you're gonna, I couldn't agree with you more. If you're gonna do any type of seating, if you're gonna have a camera guy, no fucking problem. I that's good. Have your camera guy there. Then you have to do bleacher seating. You can't fucking put people on a lower level than the camera guy, and then you're staring at the camera guy's ass the whole time.
Yeah.
That I will say that there were some people that were behind me that said, "Hey, can you move?" And I'm like, "Where can I move?"
Yeah.
I'm
What do you want
sorry,
me to
I
do?
have to man. I have to man the camera. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We can't see through you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm sorry. You have the screen up there. You know, you can catch some of the highlights from there, but you know, I'm sorry. I have to be here. And you know, I think that is a part of the learning curve, a part of, you know, what we could do better, you know, in giving feedback to these guys. There's always room for improvement, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Always room for improvement. I mean, it's just small things that people might be able to, you know, see the difference, you know, and really notice the difference, you know, that they just small little things like that will literally change and want people like me to pay for that type of money for that type of seating because they know they're gonna, you know, get that. Same thing, vice versa with Andrew. Andrew paid for silver. What do you think? He wants to go in there and get general admission after he paid a little bit more money to get better seating? Fuck no.
No. I mean, six rows back sound like a good deal for the price. I'm a numbers guy. I'm like, yeah, that's a good deal. You know, I could deal with that. And when I came in and it was flat full, everybody's against the wall, standing there. I said, oh boy, we weren't here early enough. And then ultimately we got pushed off the wall because the fire marshal was going to shut us down. We're so full, you know, blocking the exits. But then, you know, we found some seating, and to the cameraman's credit and everything, the screen, the projection, everything was crystal clear. It was really nice. So at least I didn't feel like I couldn't see what I wanted to see. I was able to see, maybe at your expense, Steve, but I was able to see what I wanted to see.
Look, so I'll give you that much. Look, see, I'll tell you this much. We couldn't even. There was everything that you guys saw, like you said, crystal clear on the screens. And everything else. We didn't get to see that shit. So that's the other thing too.
Right, you have that one right there in front of you
from the other side, so I can see what everybody else is fucking seeing. You know what I mean? So that's the other thing too. Give me a small fucking, I don't know, 60-inch TV. So all the guys from VIP, what everybody's seeing from this side, I can see from that side. You know?
Yeah.
It was nice
from both sides.
That would have been nice.
Because I was able to switch. I could look directly over the crowd.
Right.
And it's not like we were so far back, but, you know, far enough. But I could still see everything. And then I'd look to the right. There would be the big screen there. And the instant replays, those are really cool too.
See,
to be able to see that. You missed that.
We missed every single fucking instant replay. Like, come on now.
Oh,
Like when you talk about Gabby surging and things like that, seeing that on the replay, and the crowd went nuts.
Right. You know what I mean? The crowd was going, oh, and I'm sitting there going, what the fuck are they talking about? What are they watching?
They were rewatching it.
You know what I mean? That's another thing.
What are they seeing that I'm not seeing? I can understand that.
You know, so I'm looking at other people and I'm looking at everybody's faces and I'm like, what the fuck are they watching? So I literally, you see me get up and go around and look at the fucking TV and I go, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I go back, sit down and talk to the guys and they're like, are they watching everything else that we can't even see? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, they could have put a fucking TV up there so we could see what they're watching. I'm like, dude. That stuff like that is what needs to be tweaked and turned around and made a little bit better. And the fact, like I said, the camera crew, by now you'd think it'd be a camera up in the air that'd be pretty much spot on from the top that you could see, you know. It's just things like that need to be tweaked. And if you're going to give that type of seating, like Dan even said, he saw me on the fucking ground. I'm not missing any piece of
No.
So I have to get
That's
down
dedication right there.
So all the way to the right-hand side to make sure I have a view to what's going to go on. I'm not going to miss anything. So it
Yeah, I
is what
thought there
it
was a third
is.
ref.
Yeah. If anybody said anything to me, I would have said, get the fucking camera guy out of my view and I will sit down on my fucking chair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 But that's the reason why I went down to the floors, because that fucking camera guy stacked in front of me. I was like, I'm not missing this. I am not
Yeah.
missing this.
No.
So,
Yeah.
especially the Brian Shaw one. Oh my God, it was covered from the back. Jody was
Well,
there.
yeah, because you also had like their friggin' video guys.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah. Oh, here's the other thing is that the where the athletes were put in their corners in between matches to sit down, they were so close and hidden by you guys, by the VIPs,
Yeah.
that we couldn't capture them because you got the VIPs leaning forward looking at them, and
I
they're in
was
the way.
sitting right next to Brian Shaw, and he had this, I think, this ice cube thing that was freezing his hands. I'm not sure what it was.
I
Yeah.
thought it might have been like a
Yeah, that's a
vibrator or
chiller.
something. I thought.
It's a
I was
vibrating and
wondering.
it's a chiller at the same time. It does
That
both.
makes sense.
That's what it looked like, but I wasn't 100%
Yeah.
sure. Man,
hmm
he is gigantic. I mean,
He's huge.
so fucking big. And he got, like, once you see the blood rush to his arm, and dude, I think he's got 26-inch fucking arms.
It's like
Bro,
24 or something crazy.
like, bro, I mean, his arms were like the size of my body. Like, it was just,
He was the size of you,
I
yeah.
got a picture.
Bro,
I got a picture of him.
it was massive.
Literally, my torso looked smaller than his freaking bicep.
That's what I'm saying, dude. People like that are just, are at it. And look at me wrong. Levon's a big guy, but Brian, he towers over Levon too, man.
He makes Levon look
Yeah.
Yeah.
small.
He's a
But
he's
yeah.
a bigger guy. He's a massively big. What was he? 440 pounds? Is that what he weighed?
420.
420.
Jeez.
Yeah. 6'8", 420.
Dude,
That's a
And
lot of human right there. That's a
Brian
lot of
is
human.
3. I mean, Eddie is 340.
I'm saying, but Eddie is a much thicker chested guy. I want to say,
Exactly.
but Brian is just
Brian's a
looks
giant.
like,
It's
honestly,
giants.
he looks like he's a fit 6
Oh yeah.
fucking 8.
He's proportionate. He's proportionate.
He's a very proportioned person. Like, it doesn't look like he's got like fat. You know what I mean? It looks like
No.
He's lean as well. Hell yeah.
a fucking person.
And what gets me is his demeanor, his overall just
Such a
calm,
nice
cool,
guy.
quiet, very relaxed, like seemingly like just like the guy you see like behind a librarian desk or some shit.
I love
that type of personality.
I love that question that kid had.
Yes.
Do you have that turn on and turn off button that everybody wants to see when it comes to arm wrestling? And I think we saw that. I mean, I think we saw that. I definitely did, especially when he was on the side there, when he was getting ready. He looked like a fucking, I don't even know, man. He looked like a monster. I can't even say he looked like a pit bull because that's like a small little thing to him. You know what I mean? He looked like a bull. You know what I mean?
A bull mastiff.
Yeah, he honestly, yeah, he's a massive person. And when they got chest to chest, him and the Beast, Eddie, it's just you've seen them both, man. But Brian just a very massive fucking person. And
Dude, when they butted heads, and I thought Seer Brian was really gonna like swing at him for a minute because he got mad.
Brian told him, he goes, go over there, go over there. Like, he was serious. He was fucking
Yeah.
man. You know what I mean? But yeah, I want to shout out to Paul
Lynn.
Yeah,
Paul
man.
Lynn. Dude, I gotta say, dude, this your match, man, I am so proud because Krasmir he's built to something else. He's not human. Krasmir is amazing, like in every regard. But you stepped up to the plate. You threw everything but the kitchen sink at the man. I saw all the energy, all the intensity that you brought to the table, and it's inspirational and it pushes me. Like I said about Gabby, you did not lose. You inspired so many people to throw it down the gauntlet and just jump right into it.
Every hit, that every single hit he got at first,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He did everything he could, to do what he needed to do in that match. But obviously, he's an absolute beast. You know what I mean? But look, Paul's gonna come back. He's an absolute monster. Seeing
hell yeah.
Paul right there, I mean, giving 150%. You know, they're shaking on the fucking table. I mean, putting everything on the table. It just,
Everything.
yeah, it just shows you. I mean, and he's a fucking monster. Paul's a monster. So from him, you know, showing that much, that how much he gave, you know, it just shows you, man, how much he loves the sport, man, and just in general, you know, it's just shows a lot of love. You know how much he puts everything out there. It's some guys, you know, pull in there and you know they put a lot. You know, they show what they need to do, but Paul does it to a different level. You know, I felt like he did it to a different level. You know.
What I saw from those matches with Paul Lynn, and Dan said it already, was literally he exemplified the word intensity. Everything was, and you heard, and again, I'm sitting a little further back than I was supposed to. And I'm gonna keep reminding you about that, but you heard him, bro, hit, and he was, and it was just like from all the way in the back. I felt that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
bro,
man.
like
Like
I'm
a
getting
wave.
excited thinking about it because, and it was not, okay, he lost that round and he came back a little slower, and then the third round, he was never, he never, the level of intensity was consistent. He was full ball to the wall,
Yep.
pedal to the floor
Yep.
each time, like you said, hitting first, and you could just see the strength, bro. There's just nothing. I mean,
Yeah, you can give it as much as you can, man, and that's the respect that I give Paul, man, is that he does that every single fucking time. You can't expect more than what Paul does, you know, when you see him on the table every single fucking time. So, like I
He
told him, man,
knows how to throw down.
he's a fucking blessing to this sport, bro. You mean? Honestly.
Most certainly is. I
yeah.
I gotta get him. I gotta get him either out here onto Long Island, or I gotta go over there to train with him because he helped me with my very first level up, and I'm looking forward to the next one because I know he can provide that for me. I mean, his energy is unreal. You get it like via osmosis. When you grip up with that man, you feel all that power. There's very few people in the sport that do that for me. Like Devin's one of them, Paul Lynn's one of them. I put them all in the same category for me. He goes the energy you guys brought. Oh, that's nice right there. To the venue was incredible. Hope we get another one in the Northeast. I hope so too, man. I think we will. After this weekend, we most certainly will.
Yeah, I think so. I'm saying if you're gonna sell out every single time and not have enough room for the people that want to be there, you can't ask for more than that. If
Yeah,
people are gonna
good
put
problem to have.
if people are gonna put shows on like Paul Lynn did up against, you know, his competitor, like Brian did up against, you know, the Beast, the way they did things, Gabby the way she did things too, um, Czar and fucking there's certain matches that brought a little bit light, a little bit better everything. You know what I mean? So you can
Yep.
see which matches they were. Everybody knows which ones they were, and they felt that difference.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So that's the way
It
I
was definitely
felt.
unreal.
Yeah.
Real quick though, John Anthony Fernandez, good to see you too, brother. I don't know if you know who he was. He's the guy who had that brace on his arm, and he was at the after pull table pulling his one arm and his arm hanging off like this, and he was just going like a freaking monster. He's a beast to pull. It was good to see you, and thank you for your kind words this weekend.
Yeah, John Anthony Fernandez. He's a great guy. I didn't see him there. I wasn't there after too long. I started getting sick, so I fucking ran out. But yeah, I'd have to say he's a great guy and a great puller too.
Absolutely.
How
And
about Matt
Paul, it's
Mask?
people. Oh
I
my
got to tell you about
God.
Dude,
that. Dude, I
dude, that
really,
match was
really
that's
enjoy
my
that,
favorite
dude.
match of the night.
And,
That was
and,
my
and
favorite match of the night.
yeah, now I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I feel like I'd be more scared. This is gonna be a wild statement, dude, but Matt Mask scares me more than Eddie Hall, uh, maybe even Brian Shaw. Matt Mask is scary too, bro.
Well, let
He's
me
a
tell you
skit when
something.
he turns it up.
He's what the fuck, bro. When you talk about what would bring people in to watch the sport, Matt Mask is what comes to, he is an
Pure
entertainer,
violence.
bro. And I don't even
Pure
think, I think that's
violence.
just organic, authentic.
Oh yeah, one
That's
hundred.
not a show, bro. That's no
No.
WWE
No,
No,
brother.
but
That's no
but
brother.
he's
That's Matt
dude. I
Mask,
talked
bro.
to him when he was collecting his medals and stuff. He was hanging out. I forget what he. Oh no, he was presenting the medals, and he's such a
Yeah.
cool, calm, cool, and collected. I'm like, He's like, yeah, I get like that. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's a kill switch he's got on him though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's switches to this. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
different. I mean, so
uh,
the switches is what everyone needs to have when they go and compete. And I'm nice and everything else. I like to talk and everything. But when it comes to me and I'm at a table and tournament, I will fucking hit. See what I mean? So it's different. There's switches that you got to turn on and turn off. And I believe that's the difference in the sport. You know what I mean? And that's where it needs to bring every single competitor when you're going up against in a super match or whatever it is. That's what you need to bring. That's the difference. That's the, like Andrew's saying, the organic you, the real you. You know what I mean? So that's what it needs to be, man. That's the way I see it, you know. And same thing with Paul. Paul has that authentic, that great, good person. And then when it gets to be on the table, he's an absolute fucking monster. But always, if you always see Paul, he shows so much respect to every single competitor, every single one of them. So it's a pure sport to him. That's what I love about it. You know, some people get a little bit more riled up than just that, but that's what sometimes you need, is that authentic difference being is that you need those Paul Lynns and you need, you know, those crazy fucking Matt Masks,
The wild horses.
the wild horses.
Wild horses, yeah, without a
You
doubt.
need both of those differences to be where people see that, you know, and that's what we need more of, man. That's really what we need more of. That's what
You know,
that's what
I knew.
because Sergio Lisboa is a fucking crazy. I fucking love him, dude. But he's fucking nuts all the fucking time. When he's on the table, he's even more fucking nuts. But that intensity will always bring people to watch him.
What do you think was do you think Marcio was experiencing any issues? You think he was healthy?
I don't think Marcio has to really be in now as he's pulling the way he's been pulling. He needs a little bit more, you know, training to go when these guys, the top 10, you know, that he's pulling with. I don't think he's in that level or stat right now, just for the fact that the way Matt Mask took care of him, honestly, the other day was, you know, he gave him that hook. You guys know that,
I
right?
think,
Say
I know
again?
he gave a hook. But
Oh yeah,
I
yeah. They
think one of
started
the
off in
things
a
is,
hook.
Yeah.
oh yeah, well those are
That
the
was really
last
cool
two.
though.
Yeah.
But he was like, "I'm up 4, right?" That was cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But he
You
gave
got
it to him. That was entertaining. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, you know, but having that respect for him to be able to do that, I love that about Matt
Yeah.
Mask. You know what I mean? But the
Yeah.
fact that, you know, he's telling him, you know, to start off in a hook it's being nice, you know what I mean? And I respect him for that and everything else. But at the same time, I think Marcio still needs to go through a couple different guys that are not on that top 5 or 10 yet, because I think you've seen that even from the last 2 matches he's had that hasn't really
gone his way.
yeah, he really hasn't found his way yet, and I think he needs a couple lower level guys to get on that level again. I think, you know, he needs to feel like he won something up against somebody, you know.
What do you guys think about the Kevin Palco and Joe Moranto?
I thought Palco was going to win, man.
Yeah,
I
me
actually
too.
thought that too.
So
I really thought, I was under the impression that he was going to win, and the fact, I mean, I don't think it was easy for Joe to win. I don't think it was easy at all. I don't think it was an easy win, but I do think Palco got a little cocky in the beginning, and I think that worked against him, and it got in his own head type of deal.
I think he realized that he couldn't beat him in the hook, and as soon as he saw that kind of diminished him a little bit, and he was trying to figure out to see if he can top roll him, see what he needed to do to beat him, and he didn't have enough, you know, I don't want to say enough technique, but enough
game plan.
Yeah, to really
not enough strategy. He wasn't secure enough of that. I've pulled Palco before, and he is really good, you know, at making an adjustment, and you know, I think that think about it this way, guys, too. That level of stage, right? There's a lot of people watching, a lot of intensity. You got a lot of high-level athletes surrounding you as well. You know, in other settings, he may have been like in Arm Wars that he's done. You know, you don't have that kind of crowd. You know, on a stage, you're elevated. You're not at the eye level of other pullers that close or other people. So that does have a part to play in it, I think. when you are competing. As somebody who has been to a few different stages at this point, I think that does play a factor, big time. So I do think that doesn't mean though. If Palco trains up a little bit in a couple of months, maybe in a very short period of time, he will be able to take on Joseph.
Yeah, I think with time, Joseph was a lot more powerful than I thought he was.
Oh yeah, he definitely.
Yeah, he was definitely a lot more than I thought he was going to be, especially in the hook. Once he got into a hook, and he had a little bit more technique than I thought he did too. So he was able to contain him a little bit more, and Paco was disgusting too with being able to hold people center or at least hold him in that hook until that he's got that sticky fucking spot usually that people can't get through, and but. Yeah, Joseph was able to overpower.
It was impressive. It was an impressive display of power in that hook.
Definitely was.
Who else do we got? Oh, Corey West and oh my god, why am I blanking on his opponent's name?
Tobias, was it?
Tobias, yeah.
Yeah, Tobias was really good.
Barong or whatever. Yeah, he's
very impressive.
That was an impressive match.
That kid was very fast.
He was very fast. And let me tell you something. That's another thing too with the sport. You gotta have some speed if you want to beat guys like that. You know what I mean? Because Corey fell asleep at every single time right at the start. I mean, he got finished. You know what I mean? So, and if he didn't try to jump it before to at least try to catch him and be in the match, he wasn't in the match at all. I think he got flashed twice. So I don't know. It's but that shows you Tobias is on a different level, man. Beating Corey, no fucking.
I didn't realize Tobias was on that level. To be honest with you, I knew he was good, but I didn't realize how good he was.
I thought Corey was going to be able to beat him, and I knew him 4-0. So
yeah,
and I was not expecting that at all, and I give him a lot of respect, man. He did what he needed to do, and he's a young kid. He's a young, up-and-coming kid, in the sport. So, bless him, because I couldn't imagine, what he's going to be in fucking 5 years.
Short years, yeah.
Well, he's got the timing down, that's for sure, because he timed everything beautifully.
You know what I like to see since he beat Corey? I like to see almost Tobias and Kamil Jablonski.
Camille's set on friggin' Devin for some reason.
That's why I want to see them too, Andrews, because
he's fast too, right?
They're both fast. It's a speed puller right there.
So it's going to be a speed thing, between both of them. And Tobias is also strong, but I think Camille will probably overpower him just a little bit more, especially with the press. I'm not sure if Tobias is going to be able to maintain.
He won't be slow, that's for sure. He won't be sleeping.
Well, that's the good thing about it, is that they're both going to be explosive, and it's going to be like a clash. The fucking Titans, both at a fucking, forget about 100 miles per hour. They're both going to be fucking smashing up against each other. So it would be great. It'd be great. Him fucking Palm. So I thought it would be a great match.
All right, easy there, Brian. Easy there, Brian. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I think
he kept saying it's great. It's going to be great.
If you see Brian in every single one of his fucking, that's all he says. That's every single.
I know. That's why I said easy there.
That's all he says all the time. But I want to shout out to Miguel Fernandez for fucking. I can't even believe that he fucking beat Coach Ray in the first one at the tournament.
So that was amazing.
Going up against Coach Ray in the second one, I know he did end up losing, and he really felt that loss because he feels like he could have done something a little bit different. But you did pull Coach Ray, and you did have a good win on Coach Ray at the tournament, so I give him a lot of respect for that. I posted that. I had to post that because that fucking match was so good.
I gotta look at that, man, because I like watching Miguel pull, dude. He's when you talk about intensity or explosiveness, I like to watch him.
Fucking monster. Miguel is
a beast.
He's posted it on your Facebook, Steve?
Yeah.
I gotta peep that, yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna be if they didn't see what they should have seen with him up against Coach Ray this last time, which I think they should look at the tournament a little bit more so they could see exactly, because he held him center and then he just put him right down as the tournament. It wasn't really
Who was that other kid, Dan, from New Hampshire or wherever?
New Hampshire.
Or wherever. He remember with the come on. He was pulling Devin. Remember, it was the first time he pulled Devin.
Yeah, Phil. I think it was that big guy.
No, he pulled them also, but no, it was the small
Oh,
guy.
yeah. You're talking about the after poll.
Yeah.
Janelle?
No, small Latin guy from Massachusetts. Why can't I remember his name?
Oh, Massachusetts.
Eduardo Tiete.
Oh yeah.
Eduardo
Dude,
Tiete is
crazy.
a monster
Crazy.
as well. But yeah, no, those guys are definitely no joke. Miguel, Eduardo, those are some serious pullers. We got a couple more matches I want to talk about with the King of the Table, though. The one that I actually have an interest in, I had a very vested interest in, was Sandra Sedis versus Rustam Babayev. Because I know Sanders has a match against RVJ next year in February over at the Montana Armbender League event. And the way that Rustam beat him, I feel like that's going to be an interesting match between Sanders and RVJ, because I think that's going to be very telling. Rustam,
I think RBJ is going to beat him.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think RVJ's. I did originally think so too, but I do think that Sanders has some explosivity to him that he's going to be able to, pull out, because I don't know if RBJ has that same type of lock that Rustam has.
I think RBJ would beat him, and I think if because everybody knows RBJ is fucking natty. I think if his name natty too as well, RBJ would still beat him.
Oh, we got Bill Sinks in the chat. What's up? Another monster and legend of our sport.
I was going to say
Northeast legend.
The match of the night goes to Miguel Fernandez and Bill Sinks.
Oh, they always have wars too.
I mean, it was such a good fucking match. I mean, Bill pulled it out at the end, but Miguel Fernandez, I mean, they had such a good fucking match of the tournament, and Bill's such a fucking great guy. I mean,
such a nice dude. His hands are massiv for his size.
His thumb is
he's got like that Brazil style thumb.
Yeah. And he's such a great guy too. But I'm saying as a puller, holy fucking, I'm saying such a great. I mean, I'll probably say the best matches I think Miguel Fernandez probably had during the tournaments the whole time, because he was going up against fucking monsters like Bill Sinks and fucking Coach Ray. So it was really good. And Miguel, who the fuck do you want me? You know what? If anything, the only super match that I think that'll probably be good, I'll probably ask Bill Sinks to go up against. That would be a good super match, because he's asking for a super match. The only other person that I can think that would actually be able to pull in a super match besides, what do you want me to get, Coach Ray for you? I can't even get Coach Ray.
Oh man, that would be a good match. Seeing them again, I love seeing them compete.
I love the way they pull, bro. I love, they're just such good competitors. I mean, Miguel, you can't get any more explosive.
They're warriors. They're true warriors. It's simple as that. They're both warriors. So we also got the Dave Chafee match. That was, that young guy was, he
that was 20 years old, dude.
He's 20 years old. God bless him for stepping up to the plate.
If he taught him a fucking lesson, that's what I'm glad about.
Yeah, it was good to see Chafe. It was good to see him win.
Good to see him win.
He won pretty. I don't want to say pretty easy, but it wasn't much of a fight.
Yeah, it was convincingly. But that kid's
experience and power. That's all it is. That kid's going to got a long way to go, though. He's only 20, so he's got a lot of room to grow.
I thought that was me up there, Steve, when I looked at the camera, the screen up there. I was like, this guy could, I said to John, this dude could be my cousin, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, that's
my family up there right now.
I was looking at him, and I'm looking at him like, who's this guy? He reminds me of. Now that you say that, it was fucking.
You like, did Andrew shave his beard or what?
It reminds me of. It's so funny. Yeah, he's a lot bigger and when you're up close and personal with him.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, it was well over 300 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was a big boy.
Yeah, he was a really big kid. But you could tell physically, you know, with an arms, Dave, and everything else, and the kid, it's just tell Dave was rock. You know, he is the
Yeah.
keeper. You know, I mean, he really is. You know, he's such a fucking good competitor. He's just gonna get, you know, I see him. I'd say probably another match or two, and then getting a serious match. You know what I mean? That's gonna be in those top guys because
Mhm.
he's beating all these young kids that nobody wants to pull. I want to say honestly because they don't want to lose to these kids, but
They have a lot to lose,
you
nothing
do,
really to gain. But
exactly.
it's
But
nice to see him walking his way back.
Yep.
He's
absolutely,
on the right path.
yeah.
I didn't like seeing him because I actually like Camille. I know a lot of people, he's a boring puller, blah blah blah. I'm a fan of Camille, but not just of the arm wrestling, but his demeanor and his he his communication with his fans and stuff. He's really good about that.
Camille
And-
Jablonski.
yeah, so when I
Oh,
seen him at
yeah.
the Knuckles Up, had great conversations with him.
Yep.
I message him back and forth, congratulate him. He's always very responsive. And
Yep.
as a fan, especially not just like a fan, but just somebody who's like supporting, somebody else, he's always acknowledged every time I've reached out to him.
Yep.
I don't know, I'm a fan. But him beating Chafee, I was like, I didn't want to see Chafee lose, But
I did. You're 100% right, but I'm such a bigger fucking Camille Jablonski fan than a Dave.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
So to me, as soon as I was all in with Camille, so I was
Yeah.
one of my fucking favorite. You know what I mean? So I don't know if you've seen, but the last one when they went up, I actually asked the question because me and Camille, I talked to him almost, I want to say every 2 to 3 days, and you know what I mean about when he's coming back, if he's going to pull,
Mhm.
how he's pulling, if he's pulling right, how's he feeling and stuff. Same thing when he went to the Knuckles Up thing. He had his match there, and he said that he was going to try to top roll. And I told the guys from Mac that he's going to try to top roll. He goes, Steve, and I'm like, my man, listen to me. I talked to him.
Mhm.
The first match, he tries to top roll. Everybody looks back at me. I was like, I told you, because everybody for a press.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was just nice fucking to. He's like you're saying, Andrew. He's such a nice guy. He
Yeah.
was all his fucking fans. Always talking to. I mean,
Yeah.
Everybody.
He's super
He's got
personable.
great energy.
The last time I seen him, he was explaining to me how he presses and like teaching me how to press.
Yeah,
I mean,
That's
you
awesome.
can't get any better than that. You can't
No,
get.
he's
a
one of the
master
best to do
presser.
it. So
And I would say that for the second best, presser in the fucking whole world, for him to tell you, hey, I just let me show you something real quick. You know what I mean? Are you kidding me? I'm not. I don't. Anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do arm wrestling. I'm gonna be like, yep,
Yeah.
show me right now. You know what I mean, please.
I got to
we got
learn
two-
it because he was going like this. He was like, you're wide. You got the big shoulders. You'd be a good presser. And he started
Yeah,
to
a
tell
shoulder.
me. I'm like, well, we'll see in time. In time.
we got two more matches that I want to cover. We got the Lars versus Lachlan Adair. That one was pretty intense.
I wanted Lars to win. I really wanted Lars to win, but
That
man,
Lachlan dude's no joke. He's fucking rock solid, bro.
That's
Yeah.
true.
beast.
That's true. And he's got an evil stare, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
When he's looking
Oh,
at
yeah.
his opponent,
Mean mugging
he
it.
looks like he's balling up the other fist. You know what I mean?
When he first
all there.
when he first came on, he was one of the first athletes actually there, and I saw him. He literally looked right through me, and I was like, I thought I did something wrong. I was like, what did I do? Like, oh no, did I just like.
I don't think
Yeah,
that
he
look
was
would
in
have
the
worked when
zone.
he had long hair. I've seen old videos when he had long hair. It's the same thing like Stone Cold Steve Austin. When he had the
Yeah.
long hair, bro, get out of here. But with the shaved head and the goatee. So when Lachlan shaved his head and he's looking through opponents, yeah, the shaved head's working for him, bro. He's got an evil Stone Cold stare.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then the last match, the main event, Jerry Carteret versus Levon. I gotta say, my 2 cents on that. I really did think I was pinning Jerry to have more of a stop. I was hoping for that.
Wrist, you know that, right? He didn't even flop his fucking wrist.
No, he couldn't.
Go
He
in.
couldn't.
I think he was being blocked
Levon
off.
grabbed him low and stopped him from doing that.
And
Levon stopped that from even happening.
Even Brown told him, let go of the fucking wrist. Let go of your wrist. Let go of your over and over. And I was sitting there the whole time thinking the same thing. Because he was going in here like that the whole time and cupping in. And I'm sitting there going, why is he just fucking go straight in like he did with fucking Alex? Like I don't
like he always does.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? You know what it is though? Here's the thing. From the angle that I saw, it literally looked like his wrist, his hand was covering his wrist. He was gripping pretty low, and he must have trained the fuck out of his hand to be able to contain that wrist from being able to go flopping back like that, because he knew if he gave him anything like that, then he would be in trouble. So he knows that that's his weakness. So, you know, before he even gets there, he blocks that off, and he contained it all with.
And Levon was quick too.
Yeah,
Levon
Levon was
with the stop.
explosive.
Yeah, he was. He was fast.
He was explosive.
He was
That
very
was intense.
That wasn't the match of the night, though, by any means.
No, it was not.
Listen,
he got ran through, dude. He got ran through.
That was the only match.
It was definitely disappointing.
I got up and hit the vendor to buy some shirts. I didn't watch even the four. It was the same. It was like deja vu. It was like the same round after round. Round one, stop, boom. Round two, stop, boom. It was like I'm gonna hit the vendor.
Go inside instead of him hitting the way he does and jamming the way he does, and it's just it was different. Yeah. And
it was total domination.
It was complete domination, like you said. You know, it wasn't anywhere near what I thought it was going to be. So,
because I was hoping for, like you saying, Jerry. I was hoping for Jerry to be in the fight a little bit. That would have been really exciting to get that stop, and maybe even a little forward momentum would have been like the roof would have blown off. Honestly,
the only way that Ermis was able to stop him was with a flop wrist press. It was not with,
and that's Jerry's move. That's Jerry's move. But I do believe he blocked off every way of getting there.
I don't think so, dude. I don't think he even tried. I didn't see him even go in one time like that. I mean, I press myself, and I could tell if I'm going if somebody goes in, you know, the way.
Here's the thing: if I grip you low enough, and put enough pressure with my pinky and my ring finger low enough, you're not going to even be able to have that range of motion to get to that. You're not going to get there. You're not getting there. And I think based off of what the angles that I saw with where Levon was gripping him and how much real estate he had on his hand and on his wrist, literally down. Like his hand was like right here almost. And having that, you can't bend that far back. You're going to bend right into the power. And so Jerry felt that. So he had to try something different. And Ermis has a bigger hand than Jerry does. Jerry doesn't have as big of a hand. So it's easier for him to grab a hold lower.
That I agree with. With the hand, because I did see his hand getting covered. I didn't see too much of a difference on how low his hand was to his wrist. It's just, and you're right. He could have been able to block him out. I'm saying it was a lot of honest. It was just real domination is what it was.
Yeah, I do think.
I don't think anything he would have been able to even try to do, but it didn't look like the regular Jerry that I've seen him press the way he pressed before. Yeah. But I'm not sure if that it was that, or it's just because Levon was too much for him and he was covering his hand and his wrist too much, so he wasn't able to get in that position. I don't know.
Who do you think who can be the next victim or victor to Levon?
Beats me.
Who do you think?
I mean, we could throw out names, but they're all long shots.
I think
You think Ermis?
I think
the closest.
Because Ermis didn't start with a fucking press. Ermis started with a top roll, and he kind of gassed him out a little bit.
But he's got a bag of tools on him.
Yeah, exactly. And then he gassed him out, got him in a press, and then he was cranking him back in the press. And I get it. You're right. Levon was sick, but he was, on a tank and everything else. But I think it still would be kind of like the same thing that it was before. Ermis, how explosive he is, everybody knows. That motherfucker is one of the most explosive fucking pullers out
in the
there.
Game. Yeah.
I mean, from 0 to a fucking million to be able to stop somebody the way he fucking does and put that fucking wall up. You know what I mean? So it's different. It's definitely different.
Maybe in years from now, maybe Brian Shaw.
Yeah, many years.
I mean,
I
when
do
you
think
talk about size, you know.
I do think Monster Michael Todd is training for that, and I think that by way of versatility and explosiveness, like he might be able to get to that press point as well.
Who do you think would
I agree.
win,
Well,
Michael Todd or Hermes?
I think
Or
Michael
put him in that
Todd
King's
might
move.
just have. I think Michael Todd just might have the win. He's looking dialed in. He's been doing really well lately. He's on the up and up.
It's his king. That's what it is.
It's bleeding the guy out.
That's what he does.
I don't think his arm opens all the way up anyways.
No, because he broke it. He broke it. So he bone lock. He has a bone lock there.
That's what I'm saying. And now he's stuck there. And then they can't get past there.
Unless they break his arm, bro.
Right, unless they break his arm.
Levon could probably break his arm.
Yeah, Levon could.
Yeah, if anybody could, it would be Levon, right? Who has that ability. But I do think, Monster is going to be the next one to go up against him, or Vitaly.
And Todd Michael looked huge in person, bro.
Yeah, he was big.
Anybody else notice that?
Todd looks bigger in person than he does in any one of his videos, dude.
Which makes it even more impressive to think that when you watch him in his YouTube videos or his matches, how quick he is at that size is incredible.
Yeah, it's
like when he presses. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
I do want to share everybody about the after poll. I know, Steve, you had to leave shortly after the event. You didn't get to see the after poll that much.
No.
We had 2 tables in the back of the venue for a little bit, and then everybody went down to the yard where the where the World Series of Arm Wrestling was. We went down there and we did Freedom Arm Wrestling. That was a great experience. I pulled with Devin.
Yeah.
Dan was pulling with the guy, Jason Statham from Arm Wars, Neil Pickup's partner for Arm Wars. And
Corey West
was down there. I got a cool video, just quit with Devin yelling that to him. I'll be posting that later on.
I got good footage of that too. Maybe I can send you some of that too if you want to. Like, you feel free to take a look at it and edit it however you want. But I was sitting there.
I only got one little clip.
Oh no, dude! It's like I got the whole thing. I'll send it to you. Okay. You do with it what you'd like. But I was watching it and seeing Devin being, like a praying mantis, such a big dude with a large frame.
That's a good description of Devin. He's a praying mantis. That dude is very unassuming.
It's hard. It's hard to fill out such a large frame, but like, again, when you see him in person too, his muscle maturity, on his arms and everything, it was really,
dude, it's insane.
Really, like it's not just like density. It's not soft. It's not like Michael Todd has like a soft musculature. Devin's, it's, I don't want to say old man muscle, but we all know what I mean by old man muscle, but he's just got that muscle maturity, dude.
Yeah. He's lean. He's been lean for fucking years.
Tell how shredded he is when you see his arms and.
Dude, it's insane. And he's 270.
Yeah,
he looks more powerful in person.
Yeah, he does.
I was more impressed. Off his arm is a whole different story, man. I got that's all I was doing. I was hanging off his arm. Devin
looks like times bigger in person than he does.
Yeah.
And then John Brzezinski,
because he lunges forward.
John Brzezinski is like a regular sized guy. He just looks like a regular. John Brzezinski's like a normal guy. You know what I mean? But great guy. And it's unbelievable to watch him. Just
when we were at the yard or whatever, and Devin was getting ready to pull, he did something, and it reminded me of that Coach Ray video that he posted, where Devin was getting ready to pull. And he gets to walk to the table, and he goes like. He's like this, and I'm like, dude, that's
his wings.
It was spot on with that video. Spot on.
Just, I love that video.
So funny.
Coach Ray.
He literally hysterical.
Yeah, that stretch. So yeah, it was a great experience all in all. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I can't wait for the next one. I look forward to that. I do want to do a quick little recap. Yesterday, the next day, we had a Nightmare Before Christmas Christmas party. Not as many people showed up as we'd hoped for, but it's all good because the people who did show up brought a lot of energy. We had Connecticut in attendance, PA in attendance, and a couple guys from Long Island there, and good yummy food. high energy. A couple guys that were training for a couple kids that were training for baseball. Actually, their dads were like, "Hey, what's going on in here?" And we actually got their interest as well. So they're going to be coming in, at future dates. So that's exactly what we wanted. We wanted to kind of have that's what we want at this gym, is to bring more eyes, because there's a lot of different communities of soccer players that were interested, baseball players or their family members. They were very interested, intrigued. Chris Locko, shout out to him. He came from Connecticut, drove all the way down. And Dave Shell, we all know who he is, the professor. He came over as well. Really enjoyable experience. This is all thanks to Dan's efforts of making this a reality with his buddy Anthony at Clean Cut Fitness. I'm going to go ahead and actually post a link for that real quick. Clean Cut Fitness, we are actually going to have a gym membership. For anybody who wants to ask about that, you can reach out to me or Dan on Facebook or Instagram. We have a gym membership that's going to kick in May. It's not going to be anything anytime soon, so don't worry about it. Come check out the gym. We're going to have arm wrestling specific tables. You know what, Dan? I'll let you talk about that. Talk about the tables.
I want everybody to come down and see the place before about talking any money. So we have a membership. That's all. We're working everything out, but just come see the place first. We're going to have custom tables being made for us, and it's going to be state of the art for the East Coast for arm wrestling. That's what we want. We're going to have other people come involved, and surprises, plenty of surprises. Nope, you're there. You there?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no, Andrew's gone. So that's what the gym's about. We're trying to get a lot of people in, see what it's all about, and then once you get hooked, then we talk about membership. That's all. So, but everything's coming, and by January 1st, we should be up and going, and we'll see you at a practice Sundays and Thursdays for the time
Come
being.
down, check it out, because I will say that some of the creature benefits that are really awesome. It's a huge facility, first and foremost. It's going to have, we currently have a whole bunch of powerlifting equipment that's there that we have some access to. So we got a lot of weights available to us for those, gym rats that really want to, pump iron. We have the ability to do that. We also going to have some recovery options available, a sauna being one of them. We'll have access to that. So please come check out the facility. We're going to be posting our practices that we have there live. I might walk around with the camera to kind of give regular tours of the place so you guys can see it. But you know what? As we all know, seeing things on video camera does not do it justice. Come down in person. Check it out. Be a part of this, because we are going to be using this as a site, not just for practice and training, but we're going to have events here. We're going to have tournaments.
Full event space, yep.
We have a full event space. We're going to have seminars, coaching seminars, where we're going to bring guest pullers in, and we're going to have seminars of, maybe referee seminars down the line. So we're turning this into an arm wrestling, very specific arm wrestling training facility in all different capacities of it. So please check it out, guys. Check it out.
Come on down.
Reach out to Dan or myself. Yeah.
41 Saxon Ave, Bayshore, New York. Come on down.
Come on down. Check it out.
So enthused, Dan.
Come on down. Sorry, I'm tired. I worked all. It's a long weekend, man. I gotta get it caught up from the weekend.
And speaking of that, sorry I couldn't make the Nightmare Before Christmas event. Shout out to
I am not
John.
sorry. Make it on a different day than a fucking Super
Bro,
Bowl.
I'm gonna tell you.
Listen, once we get the equipment, it'll be a different story. All right.
Yeah.
If you would have done it a week after, you know how many more people you would have got there? I would have definitely came. I'm not gonna do the day after. I just drove from fucking New Jersey. I'm driving to fucking West Bumblefuck, Long Island, then I'm fucking West fucking Bumblefucking Pleasant Valley, bro.
Well, listen. I understand that, but I had it worse than you, man. Shout out to John and Meatball Mike. John, we carpool, drove myself, Meatball Mike, and John, and you get so overly excited and amped. We were up late, hanging out at the yard and everything. Ultimately, we get back to the room. go to crash, and man, I have the worst luck, bro. I'm always the last one to fall asleep, and I get locked in with two snorers, bro.
Oh
Just
my God.
chopping wood all night. Okay, so oh my god,
I can't deal with fucking one. Forget fucking I will
dude.
fuck oh my God.
Sorry,
And
Dan.
we had a suite. We had a suite, so it was coming across the room. I had it in stereo, bro.
Oh my
But
That's fucking awesome, though. But I will say this: we will plan on having an end of year gathering as well. We're gonna have that, but that's not gonna be necessarily food involved. It's just gonna be a gathering of arm wrestling. I was looking at the calendar. We do have one more Sunday before the end of the year. I think it's December 29th, so it'll be after Christmas. So stay tuned. We'll throw some information out there. I mean, it is an open practice, so there's no reason why we can't just keep it at the same time and invite everybody to show up.
oh man, shout out to Johnny Rockets.
Yes, Johnny Rockets. Amazing food. Putting up with our shit.
Oh man.
Yeah, but we waited forever.
Yeah. So that goes into what's going to happen next year. I will, before we get into your event, Steve, I do want to say everybody who is looking for a one more chance qualifier for the Arnolds, January 25th, there is going to be one last chance qualifier by the High Five Club. Check their Facebook out or Instagram out. Feel free to do so. Check that out. But if you have already qualified and you're looking for something a little different and need something spicy in your life, check out the Battle of Tri-State 2. This is going to be an epic event. This is going to be number 2. Steve, go ahead. Tell us a little bit about it, man.
So the guys that were there, I know Andrew was there, I think, for the first one. We had a small venue. I knew we should have had a bigger place, but
What a problem to have.
yeah. So we should have definitely, and it will be. So we're going to use the same venue that we used for the Arnolds this year, and we're going to actually have triple the space. It was a beautiful venue. It was nice, wide setting. It's going to be right in the middle like we did it before, and free food, like I was saying before, free drinks. And there's going to be 10 super matches total. Phenomenal super matches. I mean, there's guys that are going to be fighting for the number 15 to number 14 spot, number 2 to 3 spot, between 154 all the way up to heavies. It's just going to be a great day. And the place is absolutely gorgeous. I'm saying if you guys were there before for the Arnold's, it was such a fucking nice fucking place. And like I said, man, the awards are going to be I don't want to say anything about the awards yet because they're going to be so fucking good, and they're going to be so much better than they were from the first time that we had them because it's just night and day. It's going to be literally night and day.
But shout out to you, though, bro. You always look. I've been doing it for just over a year. Your medals, your trophies, in my opinion, are the best. Are the best.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Man.
You've taken the time to create, design, or seek out whatever you do to do it. You're doing it right, doing it well. I don't know if I can turn this camera around. I don't know, but we'll just take us to it real quick. But not the best situation I got going on, but I love this one right here. I don't know. Can you guys see it?
Yeah, that's one of the best
man.
medals out there.
I designed all my
bro. Listen, my buddies at the job, they know I got into it. They know I'm loving the sport. They're supporting me. So, they're always telling me, putting pressure, make sure you bring it back to, the medal, bring something back to show us. So anytime I tell them I have a tournament, they're always expecting me to bring something. And I'm telling you, dude, your medals are awesome. While I'm over in this area real quick, though.
Hang on.
Dan.
You got to show the award right here real quick.
That's one of the super match awards. Yeah, that's what Andrew's probably going to collect.
Dude, listen.
This is right here. Well, I'm going to collect another one too.
Listen, that.
Yeah, we got to find someone for you.
I'm after that one, bro. I am after that one. Big Dan, going back to real quick, the king of the table. I was like one of the last people to get a picture with Levon, and I can tell he was ready to get the hell out of there. And Big Dan was standing there, bro, and I'm just a polite dude, I'm just there, and I'm not going to push the issue, even though I'll regret it back in the hotel for the rest of my days. Big Dan was like, "Hey, Levon, can my buddy get a picture with your last picture?" And he took the picture. So for that, you might not be able to see it that well, but inside of this humidor right here, bro, I know you're a fellow cigar guy. Okay,
Ah,
okay. I have real, authentic
Cubans.
Cubanos, baby.
All right,
Yes.
thank.
All right. And if you know anything, you know
Listen,
the count. You know
FBI, we don't know where
you
he
can
lives.
listen. I got a Cuban connect, bro. So that one's for you. So I owe you that.
Thank you, thank you.
You're
Come on.
super generous dude.
Oh
I owe
yeah.
you
Well,
that.
That's
whatever,
what it's
man.
all about right here. That's
I said the
awesome.
same thing with Devin. I stayed up till 4 in the morning on Friday night, bullshit with Devin. He's pulling the strap out of his pocket and starts arm wrestling and fucking everybody in the bar. I'm like, all right, cool.
I need a ring though, Steve. Bro, that
Don't
You need a
worry.
ring.
that's a sick award, dude. It's
Yeah,
different.
these rings are freaking awesome. They're heavy. They feel great. They look great. Literally, it is the only award. Check this out. It is the only award that takes residence inside of my house. All my other awards are in the pit. It is the only award that is right. Actually, hang on. I'm going to show you exactly where it is because
Yeah,
it this
don't
is
leave that one out around
this
me.
right here.
Ron Anaconda wears his, bro. Ron Singley wears
Oh,
his.
I got to
Does
turn off
he?
the filter.
Yeah, I went to the Battle of the Beach and he had his on. Yeah. He won his too. At the I was like ref for ref. So that was a little
Give me a
different. That was right
second.
after the super match.
You guys got to see this where this thing's located. So it's right there, and it's right there. Confidence in oneself. Human potential is the same for all. Your feeling I am of no value is wrong, absolutely wrong. You are deceiving yourself. We all have the power of thought. So what are you lacking? If you have willpower, then you could do anything. It is usually said that you are your own master. So I gotta tell you, man, that is exactly why I put that there. I put it there for that reason and that
Those are
reason
one of the
only.
sickest rings that I picked up was one of those colors. The ones that I have coming up for this one are going to be I'm pretty sure they're going to be silver, yellow, and red. So they're going to be
Oh, that's gonna be nice.
gold, silver, and red. Because
That's gonna
it's
be nice.
and then all the awards are going to be. I don't want to say anything yet.
Nah, bro.
No,
Hey, I'm
keep
here
it a
for the
secret.
award.
Because I
But
designed all
before I
the awards.
forget,
I
before
designed every single award that I had. I've never. I mean, the only one that I actually didn't was the first one. That was just a regular piece for the Battle of the Tri-State, and that was because we didn't know. I didn't know where to get the awards, and then
no,
slowly I got to connect. Was able to not only um, recreate what I was designing, but actually show me everything right before it was done. And it was in a different color, but I just had to imagine it what it would be in gold, silver, and bronze. But it was as soon as I was able to design my own stuff, I already knew that they were going to be fucking great, man. Like the table, that table was fucking sick,
The
dude.
table's sick, bro.
yeah,
I
that
took
table is gorgeous.
Big
Yeah.
Dan
I
up to your
second that.
tournament. I took Big Dan up to the tournament. I I've been dealing with a wrist injury for like over 6 months now, and I was on the fence. I wanted to test the waters. I just had like a morning I woke up and I'm like, oh, it feels a little better than it normally does, and so I was happy we took Dan up there, dude. Let me tell you, Dan wore those damn medals. As soon as he got them from you, we went to Five Guys. We went to the cigar smoke shop. We went, bro. He was walking in like a like a wind chime, bro. It was like walking into a convenience store, the old school shit banging. He was clinking and clanging everywhere we went.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
So
That's funny.
those things have some weight to it,
Yep.
and really cool looking, man.
Very
I mean,
well made.
even looking at him now hanging there, that definitely stands out. Really nice,
Yeah.
really
They,
cool.
you do put out the standout awards. I do want to, before I forget and move too far forward, because I know we're in next year right now, but I want to backtrack a little bit. Upcoming the end of this month, we have
Oh
the
yeah.
major Mac Arm Wrestling 2 is happening. Check them
That's
out.
JJ, right?
Yep,
JJ
he's
JJ
Jackson.
and
actually
Ian.
on Through the Fingers now.
Jackson.
He's actually on Through the Fingers podcast. So if you guys want to go tune into their podcast after you guys are done watching this or being a part of this, Brian Parliament and Zach Monroe and Dakota Shipman, they are all great dudes. So I always like to shout them out whenever I get a chance to.
Yeah, they actually had a podcast tonight.
Yeah, they're on the show right now as we speak.
Yeah.
Where's the Mac event?
It's going to be in Canada.
Canada.
December 21st, Michelle Dugan is putting a fucking beating down.
Oh, yeah. I was asking about
Oh,
that.
yeah. Michelle's going to rip her arm off.
I can't fucking wait for that. That's going to be so
Well,
good.
Oh, that's this Saturday, huh?
Yeah, December 21st. Yeah, and then I think I know Peter's going to be a beast. Go through fucking a couple of different guys that are going to be on there too. There's like a.
Is there anybody watching it anywhere? Are you having it at your shop there, Steve?
The what?
The pay-per-view, the Mac.
If you guys want to come here, I'll have something.
All right. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, shit. I'll throw something fucking on the 21st. That'd be great. I'll get the pay-per-view if you guys want to come here. You know, I'll fucking always have food and everything here. So shit.
All the best
We'll
shit
think
happens
about
on days I can't come. I'm going to be at the Nutcracker with my son.
Yeah, I know. I got the wife's birthday this weekend. Otherwise, I would definitely do that.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea though. You probably do.
I'm not going to be in the doghouse, bro. I can't go watch arm wrestling and sleep in the car or sleep in the Jeep.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. Listen, we can be roommates, Andrew.
Yeah. But man, I Steve, man, I'm itching for that ring, dude. So
well, you got Malcolm in your way, man. We'll see what happens. I know you guys have been going at each other fucking back and forth. I'm pretty sure you have the winning record though so far, right?
I do. I think so. But with a super match, different from the tournament, you have time to make adjustments and figure your opponent out. And also it's fresh arm versus fresh arm.
Yeah, it's different.
So
that's a different,
you don't know, what match you're going to get into with a guy on the table before pulling somebody else.
It's so true.
So I'm not sleeping on Kevin by any means. If anybody knows who that big jabroni is, he's a beast. He's violent. He's violent. Let's just call it what it is.
He's the angry version of you.
Yeah.
I'm well hidden there, Dan. But
yeah.
That means I'm doing well.
Yeah.
But that means I'm doing well.
No,
but
he can ask, man.
He's the dude who's breaking your plywood, your single plywood. He's pulling your bolts off your table when he's arm wrestling. He's bucking the elbow pads off of the table.
Yep.
That's a guy, when you watch him pull,
very aggressive.
You're thinking to yourself, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
It's gonna hurt. Dude, I know people were looking to pull him and then didn't want to pull him, and then he's scaring people away, bro.
Oh yeah. I think Jonathan McCurchin, didn't they pull? Him and Kevin?
Yes. I think there was a weight cut or something like that.
And I'm pretty sure I talked to Jonathan. He said he doesn't want to pull that heavy anymore because it's. I
think Kevin hurt him though, didn't he?
He did.
See, but
McCurchin's got a lot of energy.
Kevin, I'm not fucking worried about
that
you,
dude.
bro. I'm not worried about Kevin like that. He's not gonna.
There you go.
He's not gonna.
There you go.
Well, what I'm trying to say is that I'm agreeing with you that he puts a lot on the table. You know what I mean? And he can hurt you. Not saying he can hurt you, but he can.
He can hurt you. Absolutely. You could say it. He absolutely can.
You put a hurt on somebody. That's what you're saying. I get it.
He's got, he can. He really can. I've seen him. A couple different super matches that I had.
Dude, he's violent, bro.
He is. He's aggressive on the table, and that's what you honestly really want to be, and that's what you want. He's almost like Miguel Fernandez, as aggressive as it gets, but
yeah,
much of a bigger guy and use so much more of his weight that he almost tears the fucking table off the.
Bro, he's pulling. He's you can hear the plywood crackling.
Crack every single fucking time at every single one of my tournaments, bro. Every single fucking time.
Yeah, I'm gonna make him pay for that. Now. I'm gonna make him pay for that. But yeah, he's to be reckoned with. He pulled my arm so hard in one of the matches that it was like, it happened in a millisecond, but I had to like rethink, like, am I okay? Like he hit into me so hard
Yep.
that I remember going, whoa. So
That's
I
a lot of
respect
power.
Kevin a
Yeah.
lot. I respect Kevin a lot. He's an incredibly strong, quick, um, aggressive and violent puller. Um,
And
he's not
he's got,
he's gonna be a match, bro.
he's got a couple of different ways to do too. He doesn't, he can go inside, he can pull you from the outside. So
Yeah.
it's not like he's very one dimensional. He's
No.
got a couple, and he uses his body too. So, going in with the guy that size that's able to use his body the way he does.
Yep. And
That's
people forget, bro. He looks like he's nearing 40 years old, bro. But he's only like 22, bro.
Yeah, he's like 20, right?
Yeah, he's
He's only
22,
like
23 years
22.
old.
Okay.
Oh,
But
man, so
he's
he's a
about
youngster.
300 pounds, though.
Yeah, he's over 300. I think he's like 330 pounds.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
He's a big boy.
He's no less than 320. Now,
Right.
and he's a guy who goes to your tournaments for two things: medals and Five Guys.
Yep.
All right. So
Medals and
he's
Five Guys.
That's
That is
it, bro.
awesome.
No, he comes out.
That's your tournament, bro.
Yeah.
Medals and Five Guys. But yeah, that's been a tradition. But yeah, I'm really looking forward
You
to
gotta
that
get us
match.
sponsored by Five Guys, man.
I sure enough should. I'm keeping them in business every time I go up to Fishkill. That's for sure. But what's nice is, he and I do talk. We're very supportive of one another.
Yeah.
When he's up on the table, I'm giving him, some advice, some coaching, helping him out, giving him words of encouragement. I'm always rooting for him.
Yeah.
So kind of like I think back like Eddie Hall and Brian Shaw. I think they're friends off the table, but when they get to the table, it's going to be on. And that's
Yep.
how I look at it with Kevin and I. It's definitely
There you go.
going to be on. We normally sit next to each other. We talk about it. It might even be me and Kevin versus everybody there sometimes. But on February 8th, it's me versus him and everybody else.
Yeah.
I'm on Andrew Island when
Yeah.
I go there February 8th.
That's gonna be good. That's gonna be good.
Oh, dude, Andrew, I'm gonna be up there with you. I'm gonna be up there. I'll be up there with you. I have every intention. I've already I have off of work, so I'm gonna be up there. We're gonna get there nice and early. Get your mind right. Be comfortable. And when I say early, like we want to be there. Make sure there's no running late, no rushing for anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'd rather you be there early and relax and sit back and take a nap in the car if you need to. Type of deal.
Steve, I even have a buddy of mine coming up from Florida.
Nice.
He's coming up. I told him, I accepted a match. I keep him in the loop. I tell him about the promotion, so he knows all about Steve Fernandez, Tri-State. He loves to tell people, his buddies, the left-hand amateur Tri-State champ. So he's actually taking some vacation time to come up from Florida to visit us in New York. And I keep telling this guy, bro, you got to check out New York when it's not in the dead winter, bro, because we've had 3 snowstorms in the last 3 years, and he's been here for every single one of them.
Oh, great.
So if he comes, there might be snow, bro. So, but we're very much looking forward to that match. So yeah, I can definitely use any support that I can get, because I know he's going to be a tough match, and he's training with some really good guys in PA. I know Team Predator or James Easley, people that I only have heard about, but he's got some really good coaching. So I know that he's going to come prepared. Yeah,
that's a good team right there. That's an old team right there. There's a lot of old knowledge over there. So
yep. So he's definitely got some professors over there he can speak and learn from.
Mm-hmm.
I
do want to. Go ahead.
Who do you train with, Andrew?
Listen, for the last 6 months, I've just been doing recovery, and then I just stepped back onto the scene, doing a little bit of light work, and I'm like, okay, I can actually put some pressure on my fingertips and not wince in pain. So I went to the pit with Daniel and Big Dan here.
Nice.
So we go there, train with some guys that I know I can trust my little injury with, you know what I mean? That I'm not going to take 10 steps back after I took 1 step forward.
Right.
I'm very communicative that way too. Hey, Dan, let's work on this. Um, yeah. So I haven't been practicing with a lot of the other Long Island guys. I'm not sure. I know there's different practices hosting, but I just didn't feel like I was really ready to go there because when you practice with those guys, it's hard not to go balls to the wall. And I know, humbly, I know my wrist is not, especially 2 months ago, 3 months ago, was nowhere near ready for that kind of torture on a practice. But yeah, so the pit and I'll seek advice with Paul any little bit, bro. Like over the weekend at the yard, I was talking with Paul. So he'll give me advice and I'll grip up with him and he'll make me remember how strong his damn hand is. It's so annoying, dude. He's so
It's
strong, bro.
It's
He's so
insanely
strong.
powerful. Insane, insane power.
It's like a rock.
Yeah, yeah. But again, somebody who's exceptional in the sport, but also the nicest dude, man.
Yep.
So
Truthfully
I
is.
would love, and he knows this. I tell him, I say this to everybody. I don't like Paul Cruz. He's a guy that I love to hate, but he's too nice, man. So I have a
You can't
lot of
get angry
respect
at
for
him.
Paul, man. I can't. So, but he gives me some advice. But I'm hoping now that the wrist is getting better. I want to branch out a little bit. I want to do some traveling. I want to knock on a Sunday, go to the Knuckles of the High Five guys.
Yeah, the high five guys.
Um,
That's a great practice to get to.
Yeah.
The dungeon up in
Yeah,
Massachusetts. I want to go
Kevin
up to the
Malcolm has
dungeon.
invited me to the Predator guys. But
Yep.
now I'm not going to go there. He's not going to walk me
No,
into the Lion's Den and try to see what's going
get some
on with
homework.
with,
Yeah,
with
no,
me, man. No, no, no. But
no. We have Dan and I were talking. We want to go up to the dungeon. We'll pick. You know what we'll do is we'll pick Steve up along the way because I know we have to pass.
let's
He
do it.
can link up with us and we can go up there. We
Let's
got
do
it. We
it.
got to make it over there.
I want to check out the Beast Mode guys too. They
Yep.
invited me to their practice, and I know they practice. Um, I think it's like on a Thursday night or something like that. But they were talking about accommodating, and changing the schedule around, and I want to take advantage now because I've been out of the game for 6, 7 months. I want to take advantage now of whomever I can learn from and
Mhm.
practice safely with. My goal in 2025 is not to just practice, but to gain something. I'm looking for efficacy. I'm looking to take something home with me. I'm not looking to just get sore. I'm looking to make every workout count and take something back with me, bro. That
Nice.
that is my goal. So I'm
That's
looking
a
to be
huge
a
thing.
sponge. 2025, I'm a sponge. I'm a
Well, I
traveling
will say,
sponge.
I'll tell you a place to travel to is Team New Jersey. Also, I don't know if you guys can see that.
That's Steve
This
Walker,
is
right?
Yep, Steve Walker. This shirt is in commemoration of Mike Mignonia.
All right,
I
right.
got God bless him. God rest his soul. That man left behind quite the legacy in Steve
Mhm.
Walker and the entire Walker family. They're all
Another nice guy,
monsters.
dude.
Ray Romanowski. Those guys, they are really strong pullers.
Oh, Ray's a part of that crew?
Yep.
Yep.
Dude, I
Uh,
like Ray, dude. We did a little after pulling at Steve's event, and he was showing me some hook game, and that's what I want to do. Since I was a little out of commission with the top roll, I started, doing kind of like a wrist to wrist training.
Mhm.
And Ray was giving me some advice there, man. Another helpful guy.
Ray
I'd like to
is
get out there. So if we
Ray's
can set something up, man,
Oh,
I'm in.
Steve always pretty much has given me an open invitation to his house, and he said, "Bring whoever you want to bring." I've been down there before, and he's got a very interesting style of training where they do some weightlifting beforehand,
Hmm.
and then they arm wrestle. So I definitely I'm looking forward to learning more and bringing you guys with
Hmm.
me so you guys can learn more as well because I'm learning as much as each and every one of you. There is nothing that I can't learn, type of deal.
Hmm.
Like I'm willing to learn. There's just some things that this stubborn old noggin doesn't want to retain, but
Yeah.
I'm working on it. It's a work in progress.
Yeah. Let's just all I can ask for everybody is just to stay healthy,
Yep.
train, stay in shape, and be safe on the table, stay healthy. Because I learned this stuff. Not that I know I did anything, one particular thing. I think It was chronic from years. And this guy right here, Big Dan, can tell you, a suicide bench grip. Your wrist is compromised, and after all those years of weight training, I think it just kind of caught up to me. And arm wrestling, getting your wrist cracked by some of these professionals I would grip up with, or stronger guys, or more experienced guys, just was it was time. It was time. My body said I needed to take a break. But yeah, if we could just all stay healthy and get competitive, because I'm
Absolutely.
not slowing down, bro. I've been on the sidelines watching and waiting, and I'm done waiting.
I love this. I love the sound of that, man. I do. All right, gentlemen. It has been a great time. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. I do want to say thank you guys for jumping on screen. I think we had a really good show. I had fun with you guys. Anytime you guys are available, and anybody who's watching, if you want to hop on this show is about collaboration. It's about pulling together as a community on and off the table. And if you have an idea, an event that you want to come on the show and talk about, please jump on in. Send me a message. Send a message to any one of these guys, and they'll get you in contact with me. They'll be happy to do so. We want to promote this. We want to promote each and every one of you in all your endeavors. And if you have a story to tell, reach out to me. We'll bring you on. I could do a one-off as well. Doesn't have to be on a Monday night. Actually, with that being said, I do want to announce my position just asked me to take on some more hours. So I actually will not be hosting this on Monday nights anymore. It will be Tuesday nights moving forward. I will be having the show Tuesday evenings. We're going to nail down the time soon, but I will be having it on Tuesday evenings after 7:30, 8 o'clock type of deal. Okay? For you guys to stay on for a few moments before we log off, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to end the show. Unless anybody else has something else you want to shout out, anything else you want to announce to anybody?
Just come February 8th. Everybody come to fucking battle.
February 8th. Yeah, let's go. I know a bunch of guys who are going to come, but let's go.
Yeah.
And my birthday weekend is the 12th, so we're going to celebrate my birthday that weekend and the weekend after. Let's go.
There's a couple of guys that are birthdays all that same time. So everybody come out. It's going to be a great time. Like I said, free food, free dessert. My wife is going to be cooking and doing everything. So she'll be, it won't be, I'd say, the hotel food. It would be actually good food, chicken, time, And yeah, man, everybody come, free drinks too, great awards, full and through with super matches and tournament 2-wise. And we're going to have novice, amateurs, semi-pro, and pro, 2 different tables, maybe 3 different tables, probably because of the entries. We'll probably have 3 different tables.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, so it'll be great.
The right proper live streaming as well, because I'm going to be there early to set that up for you.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be awesome, man. I can't wait.
Hell yeah!
I know John is Johnny. Is expecting to pull. It'll be his first tournament.
Nice.
Your tournament will be leave a great impression.
Nice.
Yeah, Jason too.
Jason will be there. We're gonna have a lot of guys from the pit crew and from Long Island coming.
Yeah.
Hell, I might even have my Floridian pal. I may put him in a class.
Yeah, man.
You're up here, bro. You're already up here.
Yeah.
At the table.
Put him in the office,
Shout out to
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, guys.
All right, guys.